I feel how I look right now. I am constipated, I am nauseous, I'm hungry, I'm not hungry, I was wanting to vomit last night, I'm shaky, I'm sweating, and I just like really want to cry, but I'm trying just to stay strong and keep my cool because I have Micah I need to take care of. And normally I would like reach out to family, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah, baby. Or when I don't feel good, like I'm making your food. I can become kind of short-tempered, and I don't want to be like that with him, and so I'm just trying to be patient. Quiet time is in 1 hour, and like, I don't know. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time right now with Jude. And it's really not that awful, but I don't know. I don't like feeling bad, and it makes my anxiety go through the roof because it's so hard to be sick with a toddler. And I think that's part of it. I'm just like starting to feel like overwhelmed right now. But this is 16 weeks pregnant.
You are the light of my life. You are the best thing that has happened to me. You are great. You are amazing. I'm so in love with you. I love you. And he loves you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexis. I'm a young mama. I'm 22. I have a 2-year-old son named Micah. I have a wonderful husband, and I'm currently 16 weeks pregnant with my second baby boy named Jude. Also, if you hear any noise, I'm sorry. My son is down for quiet time. I think he may be napping. And he has a white noise machine that plays white noise as he's napping, so you're probably hearing that. If you saw like the previous clip, I feel a little bit better now. I ate. I'm not like shaky and sweaty anymore, and not as nauseous, but I still feel pretty pregnant. So this is going to be my pregnancy update from 12 weeks to now 16 weeks. I am currently 16 weeks and 3 days pregnant. So I felt pretty good after 12 weeks. I have puked some throughout this month, randomly, on and off. I don't have like morning sickness where it's every single day or all day. It's just really random days at random times. I could be fine all day and then start puking at night, or vice versa. But with me, even with Micah, it usually hit me at night. And so I'm trying to get over my vomiting phobia of not wanting to vomit and just letting it come out, and I usually feel a lot better physically after, but I do not like vomiting. It's difficult for me to deal with. So I was vomiting on and off. Sleep, I'm sleeping pretty well. I'm waking up a ton to pee still, and I don't really prevent it either. Like, try not to drink a lot of liquids before bed, because at night I get so thirsty for water, and so I'm usually chugging water like every time I wake up. My mouth is so dry, so I'll drink water and then I go pee. And I don't even like try to go back to sleep. If I wake up, I just automatically assume it's because I need to pee. So then I go and I pee, and I just tell myself that this is my body preparing me to be awake all night with a newborn. Physically, I feel pretty good. There's days where I feel very pregnant and just heavy and slow and wobbly, and then there's days where I feel fine. I've been having a little bit of lightning crotch. My boobs are definitely bigger. A lot bigger. They feel very full, and sometimes like I have milk in them, although I know that I don't. With my first child, I started leaking colostrum around like 18 weeks. So I'm curious to see when or if it'll happen this time. I kind of hope that it doesn't, because then I have to deal with it for like 20+ weeks, and I'd rather just be dry until baby gets here, because it's even worse once baby comes. I'm also breaking out a ton, if you can't notice. I definitely have narrowed down one thing I think that really triggers my breakouts. I have acne, pregnant or not, and it never fully goes away, but it does come and go and get better and then get worse. And right now it's not that good at all. It's probably on like the worst side, mostly because I'm getting it over here on my cheeks, and I usually never get like acne right here. I usually will get it on my lip, which is disgusting, but I do, and on my forehead, and like a little bit around like here, like the T-zone mostly, but now it's traveling over here. I've been getting them like a lot on my temples, but I've noticed that if I cut down my dairy, which I already knew dairy made me break out, it really does make a difference, because I've cut down my coffees that I buy with dairy. I should just really ask for a different milk, but I always am like paying and I'm like, oh yeah, and I forget because I'm just not in the habit of it. In my home, I don't keep milk. I use almond milk and like bless me, and Ripple milk, which is like made out of peas. I only have like dairy, like the milk. I don't really notice it with cheese and stuff, but milk makes me break out. I have been really constipated, and it's honestly pretty miserable because I can usually be constipated and like not have that much issues, just I know I need to poop and I haven't. But it's making me really nauseous, and it's making me need to vomit, and nothing is fun about vomiting and pooping. And so last night, that was my issue. I really needed to vomit, and I was trying so hard not to, so I went to bed. I woke up this morning and I felt really nauseous, so I was like, I probably just need to eat. My blood sugar felt kind of low, and I tried eating. It was gross to me, so I didn't end up eating, and I laid on the couch for a while and just let my toddler entertain himself. And then I started getting really shaky and stuff, and I went to use the restroom, and I was definitely constipated, and I felt less nauseous after, and I definitely think that's contributing to me being nauseous in this stage of my pregnancy, and it just sucks. And I'm just gonna try to get a probiotic or something to try to keep me regular, because constipation I can deal with, but if it's making me like nauseous and vomiting, those are things I do not like. So that's been difficult, and I've been having, these videos are really TMI, so if you're not pregnant or you don't want to hear TMI, click away. But this is so other pregnant moms can, one, for my memories, and two, so other pregnant moms can be like, oh, so that's happening to her too, I'm not crazy, or like I don't have to be as worried. I've been having a lot more vaginal discharge. I haven't really had any in a long time. I don't know if it's because of my birth control, but I really very rarely had discharge. Before birth control, I did have it often, and I think it's nasty, but it's a good thing that your body does it. It's good. And so I just take it as a good sign that everything is doing how it's supposed to, because the cervical mucus is supposed to like help protect baby from like infection or something, keep infection out. Around 13 weeks, I started to bleed very heavily. If you missed that, I will have that video linked below. And I was petrified. I thought I was losing him, and that's why, like, I don't know, I don't want to cry. I'm really good at like suppressing my emotions, like for the most part, around people. Like even when I was bleeding, I didn't really show Gio how scared I really was, and sometimes I don't realize how scared I am, and then when I'm alone like this and I'm talking to you guys, you know, but really I'm like just talking to myself kind of right now until you guys see this, then my feelings come out and I'm like, wow, like I did not know it affected me that much. And yeah, I was really afraid, and so I just keep trying to tell myself when I'm not feeling good, like, you know, this is temporary and it doesn't last. And it's just really hard when like you're having a hard time in pregnancy and you do want your baby, and it's not always hard. Like, I have good days. I have a lot of good days, way more than bad days. But it's not like, oh, I'm sick. I have a lot of like emotions that go into it. And so I just try to be appreciative that at least he's growing and he's healthy so far, and just be grateful for feeling nauseous versus like bleeding all the time and like being afraid you're gonna lose your baby. So that's also why I'm like almost find comfort in my vaginal discharge, because I'm like, okay, my body is doing what it's supposed to. But it was really scary. I bled again a few days later and then it stopped, and I haven't bled again since. But that's my second and third-ish time. The second time I bled at 13 weeks was like spotting. And this whole pregnancy, 2-3 times, and at 13 weeks was the really scary one, where I don't even bleed that much when I'm on my period. And I was for sure that like nothing could be good. But I'll leave that video linked below showing and explaining about what happened in that video. And things were pretty uneventful up until now, 16 weeks. I did vomit once or twice, and it's like I vomit, it seems like at least once a week lately-ish. Not exactly, but ish. And I went to my 16-week appointment recently. I would show the ultrasound, but baby literally just looks like an alien. They didn't give me any cute like side profile, so it's just like big holes where his eyes are and stuff. But he kept moving his mouth, like opening and shutting his mouth like a little fish, and his hands were like under his face and his legs were crossed. So she had a really difficult time telling me his gender, but I already knew through sneak peek and a private scan that he's a boy. And she was like trying to like make him move. He would not move his legs, and underneath of his legs is like I think where she looked, and I could not read the ultrasound. Usually I feel like I'm pretty good, but no, I did not see boy parts at all. But she's like, you can double check at the next appointment, and I was like, I think you're right, because that's 3 times now I've been told boy. So everything was good with him. There's not much like really to update on. Like at the appointment it was like pretty quick once they saw me, and we did the like genetic testing for Down syndrome. I think it also does other things, but my doctor, or the nurse or whoever was like, okay, this is a test for Down syndrome, but I think it also tests for like spina bifida and trisomy 13 and things of that sort. So I should get those updates at my next appointment when I'm 20 weeks, which is insane because I'll be halfway done. But I am in the 2nd trimester, which is very exciting. The 2nd trimester is supposed to be easier, and it's like where you grow your bump more. And I don't know, I'm just feeling pregnant hormones today because I'm just crying over everything. Like, I really want this just to hold him already and like be over with being pregnant, but at the same time I don't, because I just want to like enjoy the pregnancy and growing him and having time with Micah before I'm like awake a lot during the night and having to juggle them both. And I'm just pregnant. I don't know, I don't feel good, and I love growing him and I don't like growing him, and I want him here but I don't want him here because I want time with Micah. And yeah, it's just with your 2nd pregnancy, you know how much changes once your baby comes, and so like you know what you're putting yourself into, but you also know like how wonderful it is, and how it doesn't last very long, and just a lot of mixed emotions. But that's my update for this month. I hope I wasn't like too like depressing. I am doing really well like mentally. It may not seem like it right now, I just feel like physically bad, and it's just like pregnant hormones. That's my update. I hope you guys enjoyed. I promise I'm okay. It's just a part of growing a human sometimes. And I will catch y'all next Tuesday. I don't think I mentioned it, but I will now be uploading We're trying to upload Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Daylight Time. So you guys like know when to expect my videos, on what days. You can like just know that they're there. So I just like want to be really consistent and put more into YouTube and connect with you guys again, because I really haven't been a good YouTuber since Micah's birth. But don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Oh, let me show you the bump. I'll start showing the bump now. So here's my little baby bump. Little bumpy bump. He's on this side a lot. You can kind of tell from my angle that he's over here. And this line is still from Micah. It never fully went away. But there we go.